In this video, I would like to compare the two functionality of these two clocks and the functionality I want to come across from my first generation time clock to the Android version. The first functionality that I would like to come across is I'm going to pull the power to it. You see it starts counting down in this bottom corner down here. It'll shut off when you apply power back to it. It will not count time when it's powered down. When you put power back to it, it comes back on and resumes counting time. On this one here, if it's running and you pull power, external power from it, it will stop, which is great. You apply external power back to it, it will not resume counting time. The next one I'd like to address is load counter. First generation, you start it, the elapsed timer starts, it is in minutes and seconds. That elapsed timer will start, and then the whole screen above these buttons here becomes touch sensitive. You can touch anywhere on that screen, it will count a load and restart that elapsed timer. On this one over here, I noticed that every time you hit start, it counts a load right away just when you hit start, and then you got this space here to count loads in. I would like it to be just like this one over here, completely transparent, where you would have everything, all of the screen between these two buttons here be touch sensitive, so you could tap anywhere out here and it would count a load and it would reset the elapsed timer. I'm noticing that the elapsed timer is not even running. I don't see which it might be in hundreds, and so it hasn't counted all the way, but I would like the elapsed timer in minutes and seconds. The next thing I like to cover is the edit screen. When you go in here and you tap, long press, and I need a place to set my own pin for this. I like the pin where it comes up, but I like to be able to set my own password. I like the very light red overlay showing you that you're in edit mode. That looks really good there, and it all seems to work good. I do just like to completely delete the clear button out of there. It just clears out everything. If we need to zero a clock out, we can just edit it back to zero. I would like a big red done button down here, just like you have on the load count elapsed timer. That way you can just hit that and boom, you got that. But other than that, the edit screen looks pretty good. One thing I would like to see on this one here, I would like to save it to Google Calendars, just like we have the calendars here. We can tap on the date and you can see the job name, the amount of hours that's on it, and load counts, all that type of stuff. I'd like to be able to do that too, just to run it to Google Calendars. Look something like this. It would just make an entry on the day, an all-day event, just have the name of the project, the clock that was running, the amount of hours that was on that clock for that day, and also the amount of load counts that was on that clock for that day, to save that to Google Calendars. One more thing here that I would like to see. Notice down here I got an icon running that my clock is running. I know in one of the first emails I sent, I talked about having an icon at the top of the screen. In our status bar here, having an icon, just green if a clock is running and red if a clock is stopped, if that app is open, so that when they start their clock and go on to do something else, that they can see that status up in the status bar, showing that that clock is running. On the daily time here, on the first generation, that daily time clears out at midnight every night. I'd like to do the same here, that when this thing hits midnight, when it hits 12 o'clock and changes to a new day, that daily time will clear out to 0 and start over at 0 for the next day. So when they get there in the morning to start their clock, that time is 0 and they start off a new day without having to go manually edit or clear that. One thing on the time clock, after it's been edited, it displays edited up there. I like that. When you go to total time list, it does not say anything about edited on there. I'd like it to say on there that's edited, in that way when you share that and the people back at the office get that file, that they see that clock has been edited, and if it shouldn't have been edited, they will know that maybe somebody added some time to it. But I'd like that edited to follow all the way through, and when you share that file, that it displays it on that shared file. The clock is looking real good. I think we need to tighten up a few of these issues, and we'll be ready to start selling this thing. I know that I have plans for this after we get past this phase, that we go and start selling it, that I'd like to be able to continue to build this out and be able to maybe track GPS location as well as motion, as well as building a back office system for this to sync up to a back office system. So if we get large corporations that we sell this to, that that time gets synced up every day and they have a current record in a back office system of what's happening. So keep up the good work.